Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to what I hope is not terrible picture and audio. Whenever we get into one of these being a quick view, where my phone is required for some function, I can't use it as a camera because we need the, oh, look at the color shift. So the audio and video being piped to you right now is from an iPhone 8. They're up to what, like 14? So yeah, this guy doesn't have that much recording time in him, and for some reason, the audio that comes through this thing is always kind of tinny. So we're only going to need it for the indoor part. When we transition outside for the testing bits, we get to go back to the old phone. So, what are we testing today? Sent to me on loan from a delightful channel subscriber. Today, we're testing the Furitek Lizard 10 with Bluetooth. And you're all too aware of how I feel about Bluetooth. And you can probably tell by the noise. So I had to go with what motor was available. Daphne's old 1450, which was a drone motor that I bought the wrong type of motor, so I had to take it apart and remanufacture a center shaft. Anyway, I've never had any issue with the motor. Motor works just fine. It was replaced in her for a different KV rating. Anyway, Furitek Lizard 10 has been installed. It has been calibrated. I soldered on a JST for direct power. There are definitely some things of note during the unboxing and installation phase. This is the total length of the servo lead, the communications lead. The plug that goes from the speed control to the receiver is 2.5 inches long. The output wires for the motor are 2 inches long. The dongle that outputs the Bluetooth module is 1.5 inches long. There are no wires on this thing over about 2 inches long. So I had to put extensions on this wire. I had to put an extension on this wire. It's just a problem. So if you're not installing this, like if you're not servo taping your receiver and your Lizard 10 next to each other, you're going to need some extensions. But so far, okay. Oh, no, Luffy. Without wheel testing, he falls apart so much. Without testing, that's the sum total of the negatives that I have about it, is that the wires are too short. Because what we have here is we're going to try to minimize. Oh, that's pretty glary. Let's turn that off. So that's a tiny bit better. I don't know how well this thing is even going to focus on it. All right, so everything is in real time, and I will show even more how much in real time this is. So this is just the basic screen, and here's one thing I want to go through about the calibration. So if we go to calibrate, do you want to start calibration? Yes. Set zero speed, click OK. Okay, so I zoomed in a little too much. Okay. I'm not touching it. Okay. Set max speed, and when we pull the trigger, we see the bar fill out. It's at 100. We go, okay. Set max brake, click OK. Do you want to save? Yes. That's it. Progress saved. So we got reverse. We go forward. That, everyone out there, that's like, look, I can drive around with it connected to Bluetooth and make changes. But here's where it gets really good. So you've got the full telemetry screen. We got RPM, motor RPM. We've got throttle percentage. We got different screens. What's not to like? Like, this is almost enough to make me embrace Bluetooth as a thing. You have a fully programmable throttle curves, much like how you would inside a Radiolink radio, but we'd be doing it inside the speed control. You pick a point, and then you can adjust it. You can move it up and down. What's not to like? We have got that's the main screen again. We've got all the settings. What mode are you in? What do you want your battery voltage cutoff at? You can change the motor rotation direction on your motor. You have adjustable startup power. You can output voltage for the servo at 6 volts or 8 volts. Then you got forward, reverse, brake, drag, brake, lock, brake, and they say they've got FOC, field area and control. So we will check in on that smoothness when we get out there to drive it around. But I mean, so far, honest, okay. So a 1080 and by extension, most anything hobby wing, look at the length of the power lead and look at the length of the servo lead. They know what they're doing. 1080s are even longer. A 1080 signal cable is like my fingers are out of frame. They give you like an 8-9 inch wire. Better to have too much wire than like that. I'm holding it here out of frame. It's 2 inches long. That's not a deal breaker. Everything is what, I mean, this app just works. You can make changes while the vehicle is running. Like, it doesn't power you off. It doesn't require you to do any sort of confirmation, go to a screen, open another menu. It just works. So props to Furitek on that. And then, I mean, like, this is just cool. Like, you would want to have your phone up on that little auxiliary post on your radio so you can. So what's our max RPM? 17,000? 160 is 170 times 117,000? Yes, it is 117,000. So, I mean, that alone, and if anybody ever worries, like I've gotten questions in the past about how the speed controls, the integrated speed controls inside Fusions are 40 amp. 7? Let's see, what can we spike it to if we load it? Nothing. I haven't seen it go above like 8 amps. So I am nothing but optimistic about the performance of this. I hope it's pretty good. It is rated 2S to 4S. It is running on 3S. I would have sampled it as well on 4S, but guess who doesn't have any charged 4S batteries? He's got 2 thumbs. It's this guy. So we're going to run this on 3S, which is, I think, also, I don't know, this motor might be peppy on 4S. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to see what it's like on 3S. We're just going to go out, we're going to mush around, and we're going to see how this thing feels. What's the low speed like? What's the drag brake like? And I have the ability to change like everything. It's so good. It's good. Here on the bench, it's good. I don't want to, you know, I ain't about trying to get my hopes too high. But for the moment, I feel pretty good about it. Let us see how it does out in the real world, the real fake world outside. And maybe we've got another solid option here. I had forgotten how this motor sounds. There's no whine, like when a speed control, when the pulse width isn't right. This is just a loud motor. So that has nothing to do with the Furitek, with the Lizard 10. I can also say this is the second filming session of the day, so we're in the afternoon, and this is the desert, so in the afternoon it gets windy. So If you don't like wind, I apologize. If you like wind, enjoy the wind chimes. So I mean, no changes to any of the particular settings. It's really smooth. I mean, really smooth. Yeah, that low speed is stupid stuff. Get a little bump action in. Let's get a little bump. Ooh, very soft on the bump. I might have to go and look at the set. I seem to remember that being on like the first page. One of the first settings is like, it wasn't punch, low control. I don't remember. And once again, this falls into the hazards of using one device for everything. So drag brake is at max, and it feels great. I would like that. Yeah, like right there. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. That has more of like almost like a brushed feel to it. Like we've gone 5 slot. Like, you know. You know what? I'm not gonna change that. I'm gonna go with it because I genuinely believe that is not a bug, but that is a feature. It's almost like soft start. Because when it stops, when you get and hold, burp, see if we can get it up, like get nose real high here. It clamps down. But when you give it a real burst, you can hear the reep as it ramps up. So that is definitely by design. And honestly, I think that's probably better. It's almost like, it's like having the Outrunner has like a performance chip. It's a little soft for me because I don't know when or how it happened, but I seem to have developed an affinity for things that feel like they have too much power. And I don't want to say it comes from the crawler days. I have a 2-wheel drive short course truck in there that is powered by a Tekin T8 motor, a 2650 kV Tekin T8. Yeah, the low speed on this is everything you could want. Now, in the full disclosure of a quickview, this is not your economy option. The Lizard 10 is about $120, $120 to $130 with the Bluetooth module. And if you were to pair it with some sort of proper crawler motor, whether that be from Holmes, Three Brothers, or even something like Team Brood, something like that, you got a $200 combo. So this is more cachet stuff than it is thrifty fellow sort of stuff. This thing feels really good. And it's one of the very few instances in crawler products where I have experienced Bluetooth app integration, not slaving, Bluetooth app integration where I go, yeah, I get it. Like, it makes sense. This app is worthwhile, and you cannot deny the low speed. The low speed is, it is, I have a thing that I think I want to say, but I feel like we're too early. We're too early in the testing for hyperbole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep hitting obstacles and I'm going to keep cogitating on it. I'm going to let that marinate. Yeah, this motor, I don't know. I don't 100% know. My wheel time on this is like, what are we at? Like 7-8 minutes? But this combo feels really, really good. There is so much drive from this motor. The speed control just delivers. It is super smooth. And because it occurred to me, I don't know why I was reticent to say it initially, but I believe I will go on here on Filmic. Does that make it? Filmic's a word. Filmic is a word now, right now, just like Relevant. I will go on Filmic record and say that this feels every bit as smooth as a Fusion Pro. The low speed control, they're actually, now, this is a 1450 kV motor in there, and it's a fairly long can. It's a 3542. There's more torque here than there is in a Fusion Pro. And I feel like the low speed control is every bit as good, if maybe not just a tiny bit better. Like, you can creep no noise out of it at all. Let's see if we can cheat it into the yellow line. The trick is you have to drop the driver rear down a little in order to get your front up over without transferring all your weight. So we're trying to do it all here. It's not low enough. The tires have too much grip in them. Yeah, that very soft bump is just something I'm not used to. It's really, it's like a 5-slot outrunner, which doesn't make any sense. It does in my head, in that it's an outrunner, and we feel the torque and all of the low speed control of the outrunner, but the softness, like, not softness, smoothness. It's more smooth than soft. It has a real, like, emphasis on smoothness. So I figure, why not? Let's go to a spot where a combination of bumpability and absolute low speed control is paramount, as this is still very loose. Oh, very loose. So this is a section where a little more wheel speed is needed, and you can just roll into it so soft. Man, that is good. That's really good. And my most recent memories of tackling this exact section, I was out here testing Eddie, my straight axle Phoenix Soku chassis with a Fusion SE 1800, and this is a smoothness level above and beyond the Fusion SE. And as it should be. This is a cheaper option for motor, and as such, this combo is still in the $150, $160 range compared to an SE at 80 bucks. So, again, fully disclosing, yeah, there is really something to that soft. Their take on FOC, I keep saying soft. It's not soft, it's smooth. There's a real defined ramp to how it climbs up. But you've still got electronic anchor, which is what we want. Positionability is really good. Let's see nose down. Well, 2 tires. You can, I mean, this right here, that is just on the point. The rear tire is, I don't know if either rear tire is touching. He's doing a stoppie. No, the rear tires are not in contact with the ground. That is, I mean, I'm impressed. That is impressive. So this is your, for me, in the short term, in the spirit of a quick view, this is what I would call your premium option. Now, it also does strike me as something more about performance, because during my last little tumble about on the ground, wheeled it back over towards myself, did the old school put a finger on the speed control, put a finger on the motor. Now we are in direct sunlight. It is close enough as to be about 85 degrees. So in the direct sun, you're gonna get a bit warmer. My back is getting real warm right now. The motor is warm. Definitely in the 120 range. And I would say the speed control, which I currently have mounted on its side, which is not optimal. Heat sinks usually should face up. The speed control is a little hotter than that. I'm sure in the app it probably shows what the speed control temp is. It's not like it's danger zone temp. I'm just used to crawler stuff just being ice cold. Like I can put 40 minutes into a Fusion SE and it will come off the course at ambient temperature. So this thing is definitely doing some math in there, which is generating a little more heat. Boy, if I still had mirrors, I wouldn't now. Yeah, there's a lot of sauce in there. This is another one of those rare things. I would see things like this pop into my memory. I would put the Lizard 10 in that same category with OT6 KLR-Ms, where, yeah, it's not cheap, but yeah, it delivers on the price. There are a lot of things that are far more expensive than the performance they provide, and this is not one of them. Because a Castle Copperhead and Slate combo would cost about the same as this and a Three Brothers Yellow Jacket, and it would not be comparable, not at all. This is worlds ahead of anything with Copperhead, even in the mentioned in the same sentence. It is really very smooth and so controllable. This is a system, this setup, and mind you, like I said, this is a Flash Hobby drone motor. And I mean an actual drone motor, because the wires were on the wrong end of the end bell, because the part where you would ordinarily bolt it to your motor plate to attach a pinion, that's where you were supposed to screw a prop on. And this motor was supposed to be mounted from the back plate, is the part that was physically mounted. So I had to basically turn the motor inside out and fabricate my own shaft for it. But it has no back iron. The magnets are epoxied directly to the can, and yet still just torque for days. Because whatever this motor needs, the speed control will deliver it. It's really very good. Do I think the buyer pool is more limited than for, say, a Fusion SE or a Rhino with an outrunner? Well, a Rhino and an outrunner is going to cost you about 50% less. Rhino and an outrunner is going to get you out the door at about $100. Does a Rhino feel as smooth as this? Honestly, it does not. There is definitely more smoothness here. And then the Bluetooth module, which is what you're paying that extra money for, here's one instance where it's actually worth it. The Bluetooth does what it's supposed to do, and it even gives you fancy little functions and features that are actually usable. The plottable throttle curves, the visible throttle curves, The ability to view telemetry, to see your max motor RPM, to see all that stuff that's icing. Yeah, I could get really used to how soft. There it is again. It's not soft, it's smooth. It's a soft smoothness. It's a smooth softness. I am beyond pleasantly surprised here. This is the best quick view that's gone on the books in a while, because this thing delivered. It absolutely delivered. If it had wires that were reasonable lengths, it would be strongly recommended. Like I say, the wires are not a deal breaker. They are just not optimized to the application. I'm trying to kind of skirt across here and get this front end. I need to get a spot where the rear can bite up. I can see the belly going for a little ship's prow over right there. So before I run an entire pack through this thing, just repeating myself over and over again, calling smoothness softness, as my sister-in-law says, every time she gets you on the phone, I'm gonna have to let you go. But she called you, right? Like I got you here, I'm gonna have to let you go. So we're gonna wrap this one up. A little more brief, I think, than our usual, because it's just so good. The longer wire quick views, usually 40 to 45 minutes long, because the stuff doesn't work as well as it could, and I'm trying to give it every possible chance to work. But this thing just works. The app works, speed control works. One mark in the minus column, and that's just short wires. You're gonna have to make extensions or get extensions. There you go, Furitek Lizard 10. I would go. I would call it. It's Canyon certified. It's really nice. It's really nice. If you're looking to spend that premium money, definitely count it as an option. I thank you for watching, everybody. I thank you for one and all for your support, particularly channel members kind enough to send me things like this to do tests. I invite you to comment below, like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, do consider a channel membership. I invite you to come back to see whatever we have next. We haven't missed an upload day in a long time, like a lot of days. Probably 200 days without missing a day. That's like a personal point of thing. Doesn't mean anything to anybody else. But in between now and whatever comes next, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is until I film it. Do your very best. Do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Quick view, junk view, smashing around, whatever it might be. It'll be something good. So we'll see you in that one. We look forward to seeing you. Come on, get up. There's no way you can get up that. Well, we were both right. Baseline and I, and everyone else, we'll catch you in the next one.